is a backer and the centre of mine. I have worked with YI over the last few years, and I encourage them to do the freshers' fairs. I thought that's really important. We need to help them with more resources. We need to raise money to back them more. But they are the future, and we are getting a lot of very good people, very articulate, very intelligent young people coming forward, and it's really, really encouraging to see. I think in the general sense about, you say, the middle classes, etc., I think it's about policies, common sense policies. I mean, there's a huge vacuum now in British politics. We're reading today, you know, they want to let out yet more prisoners from jail. We don't believe in that. We want a common sense approach. Most people in this country want tougher policies and law and order. They want more policemen on the streets. So let's respond to that, and let's lead the way using the policies.
I'm disgusted with the Conservative Party. I was a member of the Conservative Party for most of my adult life, and I've been shocked by what they've done in the last few years. Well, they've been shocked away over a longer period, but when I rejoined UKIP in late 2009, I sent a letter to Malcolm Pearson in which I said, what is the point of the Conservative Party if they can't maintain the country's independence? That is the purpose, surely, of a party supposed to conserve the country. In early 2007, I had an article, a full-page article, in the middle page of the Daily Telegraph, saying I didn't like David Cameron. I still don't like him. I'll keep on writing articles criticising David Cameron, placing them wherever I can in the national press. It's an important job to do. Look up my record. I've done far more articles, with all respect to the gentlemen here, than they've done, and they're good articles too. Thank you very much.
Now, let's bring in the Dark Destroyer. This, ladies and gentlemen, is my forte. Nigel Farage and Gerard Batten were instrumental prior to me joining this party. And my experience in schools, colleges, university, across the whole of the country puts me in a firm position to comment on this specific policy. Now, it's all about getting out there and reaching out to the people, and identification. And that identification I have immense skills with. I've been nurtured and brought along that way. I bring to the table a different argument, a completely different argument. As I said, I represent people within society with no voice, who want to be heard. And for this party to suddenly decide of bringing more people in of different races, creed and colour is the most fantastic thing that can happen. The time I had in the general election was horrendous. I was seen as a racist, although I'm a black man. Now, the fact that I'm included at this level in UKIP is fantastic.
Yeah. Okay, our next question, moving on to fundraising. The question... There's a hole down here or something.
Get the camera ready.
Easy to fall into 40 million a day. Question from Chris. Is this a leadership hustings or a comedy show? Next question from Chris, I think it's Patterley, from Kingston Branch, and it is on funding. Success in politics is dependent on votes and money. In particular, 1, the ability to secure the votes from those who haven't voted for your party before. 2, the ability to secure large donations. Who on the panel is best able to secure money and votes from outside the party faithful? So I'll ask that firstly to David Campbell-Bannerman, please.
Well, I think that the thing about fundraising is you have to approach it in a methodical manner. I worked for the Imperial War Museum at Duxford on a £20 million fundraising project to fund a new airspace centre. And the person I worked with, a professional fundraiser, was very methodical. You know, she identified hundreds of people that were interested in aviation, the people who made seat belts and bolts, not just the Bransons of the world. And that's the way we have to approach it. I'm delighted that Frank, with his contacts, is going to help on fundraising, Frank Maloney. already last night he's been speaking, he's got someone on board who's been raising money as a big commercial guy for a Premier Football club. And that's one way of going. We'll also do the hedge funds route. Owen Brolly, I mentioned, is an expert on hedge funds. They are very, very upset by the EU. Let's go to them. And the Patrons Club. I shouldn't say, but I would like Jill, I know she's backing Nigel for the moment, but I want Jill Seymour to actually run the Patrons Club. She'd be brilliant at that. But we need to look this right across the board.
Okay, fundraising needs organisation. It needs, simplest level, a London office. UKIP has a London office, but actually it's financed by Brussels, and so it can't be used for party political purposes. I propose to finance myself an office, won't be that far in fact, same building as Gerard's, really discussing taking up the space. We've all been hiring secretaries. I'll have to pay for a lot of it, by the way, I'm expecting that. This is a hard, difficult job. It can't be done if you're also an MEP. On this panel, 2 other members are MEPs. It needs to be done from this country. I'm the right person to do it. Thank you.
Well, I'm just hoping I'll get through this sweet in my mouth. Now, what these guys are saying sounds very sweet, but look, I've been in this party 2 minutes. When I say 2 minutes, I'm talking about just over a year. Already I've tapped into funding in the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth, ladies and gentlemen, just in case you've forgotten, the Commonwealth are the people we shoved aside to show our allegiance to the EU. There is untold funding out there that needs to be tapped into. I've been fortunate enough in the last few weeks to have meetings with dignitaries, commissioners of Uganda, Asia, and Australia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my ideas that I have for bringing these people together will be adapted in the House of Lords. I've already talked and spoken with that de Gris Eminence, who's coming back, so Nigel says. So Malcolm Pearson is very much in agreement with me, so too is Nigel Farage, to bring these businesses and these countries together again. Let's get it on.
I worked in the city for 20 years, and every time you employed a trainer, they always said, don't worry, Gov, I'll make you millions. And it's a bit like that with fundraising. Everybody can talk a good book, but what you ought to do is examine the record. And let's be blunt, I'm the only person on this platform that has ever raised any serious money for UKIP. In fact, I go further than that. Only Malcolm Pearson and I, in the party, have managed to raise serious money. I mentioned 3 names, Sykes, Bound and Wheeler. And Malcolm Pearson's got a big network of people. I have a track record of doing this. Yes, it needs organisation to raise money, but actually what it really needs is inspiration. People need to believe in you. People need to see you've got a plan. People need to see that you're genuine and that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. I believe I have the record. The second part of your question, sir, was how are you going to get votes from outside the party? I believe that when I took UKIP over in 2006, we were at a very low ebb. And I managed as leader of the party to take us into the European elections of 2009, where we came second across the entire United Kingdom, something that no fourth party has done in the history of British politics. I stand on my record.
Sounds great, man.
Okay, we'll stay on the question of funding, and if any of the candidates want to use a couple of seconds of their minute to come back, then they're welcome to do so on the previous point. The question